All right, so get ready, because today we're going deep on a story that's, well, it's really going to make you think about relationships. Yeah, like in a whole new way, We're talking about this single source, a Facebook post from this page, X Phoenix. And let me tell you, this thing went viral for a reason. It's a story about infidelity, it's about power plays, and honestly, it's about a woman who is just like the queen of keeping her cool in the most insane situation.
It's amazing, right? Like how this one post just captures so much of like what we're seeing in relationships today, you know? It's like almost like a case study in human behavior. It really makes you ask these questions about, well, how do we react when someone betrays us? What are the like strategies that people use to deal with tough situations? And like, what does it even mean to like win in love these days?
That's exactly it. So the story starts with this woman. She decides to surprise her boyfriend with a visit, right? But as soon as she gets there are just red flags everywhere. The apartment's spotless, the fridge is packed, there's a new bedspread on the bed. It's obvious someone's going to be staying over, but it's clearly not her.
It's like he's ready for a guest, but she's not the one.
Exactly.
Wow.
So what's fascinating is how she reacts to all this. Right?
Yeah.
Like most people would flip out, but she doesn't. She plays along.
Yeah, like she's running some kind of experiment, you know?
Right. She's all enjoying the pampering, the good food, but the whole time she's watching him. The sneaky phone calls, the messages he's ignoring. She sees it all.
It's so calculated. Like she's gathering intel before she makes her move.
She's playing chess while he's stuck playing checkers. It's amazing. But then, of course, it happens. Another woman shows up at the apartment.
Oh.
And boom, the boyfriend's caught red-handed. The two women start arguing. It gets heated. But here's the thing. Our narrator, she's just chill, completely unfazed by the whole thing.
I know. It's wild. You'd expect her to be like totally losing it, but she's not. It's almost creepy how calm she is. Like she's just watching a movie, you know? Analyzing these characters, waiting for her moment to jump in.
It makes you wonder, right? Is this like strength? Is she just indifferent? Or is it like some kind of defense mechanism so she doesn't have to feel the pain?
It's really hard to say, but yeah, that composure, it's striking.
And then she makes the ultimate power move. The other woman, she storms out. Now it's just the narrator and the boyfriend.
Oh.
He's trying to apologize, trying to save himself.
Yeah.
But she just looks at him, cools a cucumber, and says, "Bros, we die here."
Oh man, that line is everything. It's like she's the boss, right?
Oh, absolutely.
She's not leaving. In fact, she's staying even longer. It's not even about the relationship anymore. It's about who's in control.
It's like she flipped the whole script on him.
Yeah.
And you're left thinking, like, what is driving her?
Is it all about control? Or maybe she needs that security, even if it's messed up. Or maybe she just has to win no matter what.
It's fascinating.
It really is. It's like what psychologists talk about, you know, like strategic pluralism in relationships. Basically, the idea is people use different strategies, right? Depending on like their situation, their goals. And in this case, it seems like she's like weighing things out. Like, what are the pros and cons of staying with this guy? And it's clear her own needs, they come first before anything else.
It does feel kind of transactional, yeah. Like she's decided, okay, the comfort, the stability, maybe even like the stuff he gives her, it's all worth more than, dealing with the fact that he cheated.
Right. It makes you think about like how different people value things in a relationship. For some people, it's got to be love, emotional connection. That's number one. But for others, it might be security, companionship, even just practical stuff.
And when she says, "I'm using another 2 weeks here," I mean, come on. It's like she's saying the relationship is just like a thing she gets to use, regardless of what he does.
Yeah, exactly. It's that entitlement, right? That's what makes her behavior so, I don't know, interesting, maybe even kind of scary. She's not asking for explanation. She's not trying to fix things. She's just like, this is mine and I'm going to keep using it.
It definitely flips our whole idea of like what a romantic relationship is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if this is like a sign of the times,
Okay.
Like society's putting so much emphasis on the individual now. Personal fulfillment, questioning all the old rules about relationships.
Totally. Like, she's not even sorry about putting her own needs first, even if it hurts the other woman. It could be like a part of this bigger trend, you know, this challenge to the traditional ideas of monogamy, commitment, all that. Like, what do those even mean anymore?
And the power dynamic between men and women, it's like she turned it upside down. She's in control. She's making the decisions. He's got to follow her lead. That's not how it usually goes.
Yeah, right. It's a perfect example of how, like, gender roles and power are changing in relationships today. You know, the old idea of women being submissive, That's out the window. She's assertive, she knows what she wants, and she's not afraid to get it.
She's breaking stereotypes left and right. It really makes us rethink what it means to be a woman in a relationship.
Exactly. And it makes us think about power dynamics in general, you know? They're not simple, they're always changing, it's complicated.
And we can't forget about social media, right? The fact that this one post went viral, that everyone's talking about it, it says a lot about how fascinated we are with this kind of stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Facebook, X, all those platforms, they're like stages, you know, where people perform their relationships, they create this image, they want everyone to see them a certain way. And this post, it hit a nerve because it's like
Yeah.
we all want to know the secrets, right? What's really going on behind closed doors in these seemingly perfect relationships.
It's like we get to peek behind the curtain.
Exactly. And it reminds us, like, don't believe everything you see online, social media. It's all about showing the best version of yourself, not the real one.
This deep dive, just looking at one Facebook post, it's been wild, right? So many layers, so many uncomfortable truths about how relationships work today.
And it all comes back to that question, right? Like, what does it even mean to win in a relationship these days? Is it about, like, finding real love, commitment, or, like, in this story, is it about getting what you want? Even if it means, like, throwing out the whole rule book about fidelity and, you know, being emotionally exclusive.
It really sticks with you, you know, after you read that post. Like, is this woman, is she brilliant? Is she playing the game better than anyone else? Or is she, I don't know, is she giving up her own happiness just to be in control? That's what makes this whole thing so fascinating, so unsettling. It forces us to look at how complicated people are and how relationships are changing.
Exactly. There's no easy answers here, no clear right or wrong. It's messy, just like real life, right? People's needs, their wants, their motivations, they clash, and this story shows us that. So, like, where do we go from here?
Yeah. What are we supposed to take away from all this? This crazy story, these unconventional choices. What does it mean for us?
I think the biggest takeaway is this. Relationships are constantly changing. There's no one right way to do things. What works for one couple might be a disaster for another. This story, it shows us how important it is to know what you want in a relationship. Like, what are your deal breakers? What are you willing to put up with? And maybe the most important question, what does winning even mean to you? It's time to look inward. Be honest with yourself.
Yeah, it's like relationships are a journey, right? You're figuring yourself out. You're figuring out each other.
Totally. And on that journey, it's got to be about open minds. Be willing to question everything you thought you knew and accept that there's no rule book for love.
Man, this deep dive, it's really given us a lot to think about. We talked about cheating. We talked about how men and women, how that power dynamic is shifting. We even talked about what it means to win in love today. And honestly, I'm not sure we got any closer to an answer. But I feel like I understand myself a little better. I understand people a little better.
And that's what it's all about, right? So when you think about this story, ask yourself, what does it say about your own values? What do you expect from a relationship? What are you looking for in a partner? You might be surprised by what you discover.
This has been The Deep Dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking those tough questions, and keep diving deep into all the weird, wonderful, and sometimes messy parts of being human.